What's up? We deliver. This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. What's going on, everybody around the world? Yes, Connecticut is in the house. Big Connecticut themed show today for all the bangers in Connecticut, you know? What's up, everybody? Is that right? Matthew, you're so excited about this. Good. We're all very excited about this. We're gonna chop it up today. That's what we do, right? Sunday afternoon. This one's going to be interesting. Aren't they all interesting somewhat in their own way? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I hope everybody's well. Is everybody ready? Good. Good to see everyone. It's going to be a good one. I got a good feeling about this one today, you know? So, shouting out everybody from around the world. See some new faces out there. Looking forward to it. Is that right? You ready? Are you ready? Speaking of ready, Let's bring on the hardcore shutterbug for a second here. What's up? You ready?
Ready.
What are you ready for?
I'm ready. Always ready.
I'm just ready.
What's happening?
I wake up ready, bro.
That's it.
When I get up, I'm ready, man. I'm not one of these people that take like an hour or two to get up to speed. Like you could wake me up and like throw me on stage and I'll go. You could wake me up and start the show 5 minutes later. I could do it, man. You know? So, hey, I got, you were out the other night.
I was out the other night.
And you saw this band play.
I did.
Boom. What do we got going on here?
This is a band I had seen once before, but I was far away. I saw them open for the Foo Fighters last year, but I was like on the side in Citi Field. This is Amyl and the Sniffers from Australia, and this band is just getting bigger and bigger. They're so much fun, just like really stripped down, like Australian punk rock, like just tons of energy. They played up at the Pier 17, here in the city by the seaport, and just a fantastic show. This band is
this dude does look like he's Australian. He actually this guy looks like Bon Scott, you know?
Oh man,
he really does. It looks like Bon Scott, a young Bon Scott playing guitar.
I mean, you think about so many great bands have come out of Australia, from Rose Tattoo and AC/DC, and I mean, it's just such a legend. They have such a great vibe there, and this band, and there's a band called the Chats, also from Australia. Great, stripped down kind of punk rock from there. They have a very specific style. And she's amazing. She's all over the stage. I was telling you earlier, her vocal style reminds me of the X-Ray Specs from the late 70s. Mm-hmm. They killed it. I was standing next to a couple that I met that day that was in the midst of following them through like 6 different states to see this band. And they just really just...
I gotta admit, I'm not that familiar with. I know they're the Cats Meow and all that, but I haven't. Yeah, is that her name? Amy.
Amy, yeah, her name. I believe.
Maybe we need to get her on the show.
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
they actually just did Jimmy Fallon the night before the show too, and they did.
Hey, just something about this photographer on stage.
Yeah,
I just want to say that. If you're a photographer out there and you get on stage where my band is playing and you're like this guy is here, right? Like this dude right here. I just want to let you know, I'm going to punch you in your fucking face. All right? Like, because, the fuck off the stage with the fucking cameras already, Yeah,
they I missed this band.
You know what? As a matter of fact, check this out. Yo, fuck all you photographers. None of you are welcome at our shows anymore. Don't even fucking bother coming.
That hurts, man. I thought we were friends.
You know what? It's a reign of terror. It's like the French Inquisition. Like, sick of this shit. And if you pull your phone, I'm going to be like Danzig. If you pull your phone out, I'm stopping the show.
Are you going to? That's right. Well, doesn't the song say put down your phone?
That's true.
Actually, you know what? Speaking of photographers.
Okay, Karen. Get off my lawn.
Speaking of photographers, and I know you're going to Vegas soon, is Dave Plastic going to shoot you guys?
He's coming. He'll be there.
I hope he gets yeah. Oh, I love that shot.
Yeah, good one.
She's a powerhouse, this girl, let me tell you. And very, very PMA. Like, they have a really positive message without being annoying,
That's an accomplishment.
Yeah, because too much positivity gets negative.
Yeah, like what is this, fucking Chuck E. Cheese?
Hey, before I forget.
You know what? Listen, if you want to go to You want to go swing the pendulum in the other direction? Go listen to Hatebreed. Woo! You know?
I think we got to take a second to wish a happy first year anniversary to our friend at Hardcore Legends Trading Cards, of course.
That's right.
Which
Josh, congratulations, Josh.
Which is awesome. Awesome. Look at that. That good timing on that.
Yeah.
And just that. What you went to a show last night too, didn't you?
Yeah, I went to. Well, I got Mike Falzerano. We're doing the next show after this is it's a side trip show with Michael Falzerano, who is in the New Riders of the Purple Sage, and Hot Tuna, one of my favorite bands. So I actually went last night. He was playing in Piermont, New York, which is like 30 minutes from my house out the Jersey way. And I went and hung out with him a bit and saw him play last night. So he's coming up on the show a week from Wednesday. So that's.
I know you're psyched. I know you're a huge Hot Tuna fan. So
fucking love Hot Tuna, bro.
I love you had that classic shot of you with all the kid. You had your Hot Tuna vest on, and from back in the day.
Hot Tuna is a band that I loved really, really early on. Yeah, they're at the Turning Point in Piermont.
Ray Hogan.
So that's cool. And then just before we march on really quick, there is no show on Wednesday. There is no show on Sunday because we're going out to Vegas. We're playing Vegas on this Friday.
Yes. Look at that lineup.
Yeah.
That is a crazy. You know what? I wish I could be there, but I'll be there in spirit, Yeah,
it's going to be great.
Yeah,
going to Vegas for an adventure.
Now, are you gonna watch the whole festival? Are you gonna check out all the bands?
I
know you love an all-day festival.
I love fuck. How can I, dude? I'm so psyched to stand out in the fucking, under the Vegas heat in a crowd full of people. Yeah, sure. I'll go see. Like Flag is playing.
Oh, you got
and Peter Hook and the Light. And there's some club. There's a lot of friends, and we have our itinerary planned. So
that's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. And you know what? I'm also pretty psyched to say that Sling Blade's first show finally happening.
You know what? I'll announce it real quick.
Yes.
This is going down on July 19th. It's part of the Back to the New York Hardcore Roots music series. Free. It's 21 and plus. It's outdoors under the stars at Mother Pug's in Staten Island with Stigma, Incendiary Device, Fire is Murder, The Blame, Steven and the Sling Blades, and Idiot Box. So there you go.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, man. So this is happening on July 19th. So, all right, bro.
Let's do it.
Have a good rest of the Sunday. I'll talk to you soon.
I'll be right here watching.
All right. Thanks, man. This is the one, the only, often imitated, never duplicated New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. We are sponsored by the Texas Silver Rush, DTFM Vinyl Distro, Generation Records, Mad Vintage, Woo Man of the Pit, and 126 Hardcore Clothing. They're a streetwear brand for restless individuals who don't compromise. They're about being positive, more positivity, spontaneous and true to yourself. For years, they experimented with several printing methods and materials and collaborated with the large numbers of designers and illustrators, always giving room for fresh perspectives while retaining the hardcore attitude. Get in touch with them. Ramp up your game at www.126clothing.com. That said, let's clear the deck. Let's bring our guest on. Hey, just a heads up. If you're new to the party here and you don't know the format, we bring our guest on. We start at the beginning. We make our way up. There is a chronological sort of situation here. So we're not bringing our guest on and be like, so. Also, the last part of the show, we take questions from around the world. So everybody can jump in on that. But if you have something coherent and intelligent to say along the way, put it up in the chat room, and we'll see. Today's guest is an American bass player, real estate agent, and entrepreneur hailing from the Constitution State of Connecticut. He is known for his work with the bands Frostbite, Blackened, SOS, and of course, as a founding member of the band Hatebreed. Please welcome, coming at us from Bristol, Connecticut, one of the real ones, Mr. Chris Beattie. Hey, man.
What's up, Drew? How's it going?
It's
Thank
good,
you for
buddy.
the introduction. That was so professional.
Hey, you know,
made me look good.
I'm trying, 376 shows into it, I kind of got the drill down,
I'm very impressed.
How's things in Connecticut? How's things in the Constitution State?
It's a little overcast today. I just spent about 4 hours. My son was playing Little League baseball down the street, or Pony League now, actually. Out there enjoying the sun. It's been raining, but everything's good here. No complaints.
And you are in one of your establishments, correct?
Yeah, right now I'm in the booze box, the OG spot. We're closed on Sundays, so this is like the quietest place I have in the entire world right now.
Yeah, and you of course you have the booze box one, and you have the booze box and the booze box 2, correct?
Yeah, that's down the street. It's about a half mile.
Right on. That said, we might circle back to that, but let's bounce the ball back and forth a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's do it. How did you come up? Did you grow up in a musical household? How did music come into your life?
Yeah, actually, my grandfather, I lived with my grandfather when I was a kid, my grandparents, and he was a drummer. He'd always be drumming on his little ottoman, and he just loved to do that, play taps. But no one else was like super musically inclined. Not a lot of going around. I actually was more of a jock when I was younger, more into sports, like baseball, football, and my buddy Mike Ryan, who I played baseball with and hung out with all the time. He was one of those dudes that nonstop shredder. He was actually in that video. I think he was playing guitar with Hatebreed in that video that you showed in the beginning.
Sure.
And he could play drums, bass, guitar, the whole nine. And we would go home from baseball practice just cranking metal, hardcore, all that stuff. And he was doing some band in his basement, some death metal project, needed a bass player, and I was like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I'm 100% into it, and taught me a couple things, and then the practicing for 8 to 10 hours, then transpired.
Why bass? What like, was it just sort of out of necessity? Like, how did you end up like with a bass in your hand?
Pretty much necessity. And I was working at a variety store when I was younger, and I bought a scratch-off ticket and won $2,500. And this is like in the 90s, That was a big deal for me. I was like, wow, I'm rich,
Wow, $2,500 in the 90s for like a young kid. That's like...
Yeah, it was insane.
Yeah.
So I went down the street. There was a music store I would take lessons at. I bought a bass, started taking lessons. I would go to work, and then after work, I would go down the street, take some bass lessons, come back to work sometimes, and that's all how it started for me. And then, eventually kind of just would learn things here and there, transcribe stuff and Guitar Player magazine, and learned a lot of my own. Nowadays it's insane. I wish I had all the videos and all that,
Sure. What was the first like music like that came across your radar screen that spoke to you, that you felt like this is mine, like that like you related to?
I was definitely more into like death metal before I got into hardcore. My friend Mike that I was talking about, he would make all these death metal compilations, Cannibal Corpse, Immolation, just Deicide. We were listening to all that shit.
Yeah.
And I couldn't play it because I was just like, yo, this is insane. You guys are like, they were like bounds beyond anything I could do. Like Carcass was out back then, Cathedral. Sure. I was into all that. And then I started going to hardcore shows. Biohazard, I saw, probably one of the first bands I ever saw. Yeah. And the energy there just blew my fucking mind. Yeah. And it was way more simple to play than, some death metal shit at that time. And I just fell in love from that moment on. The energy, the crowd, participation, man, that was it, man. That was my ticket in.
Did you grow up in Bristol?
No, I grew up in Bridgeport, which is about
in Bridgeport, Connecticut, right?
Bridgeport, Connecticut. That's where Hatebreed originally started practicing and all that. And Frostbite, like, formed, or I don't know. Yeah, before everybody was practicing in our old drummer Dave Russo's basement. His poor mother would be upstairs and everybody would be downstairs jamming. The whole fucking duplex shaking, So.
Yeah. That makes sense. So early on, was the first band you were in Frostbite?
Yeah. Yep. That was the very first one.
And here's the Frostbite demo.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah. Frostbite demo 1994.
That's it. We all had our hair dyed, bleached.
Right.
Wore the Gap clothing, piercings everywhere. That was a good time. A lot of members from Frostbite ended up being in Hatebreed. So it was the scene was kind of close back then.
Wasn't Boulder in Frostbite?
Yep. Yeah. Boulder's the one that got me in Frostbite, actually.
I see. Do you remember what was sort of the Frostbite lineup, the original lineup?
The original, we had Rob Bajoris singing. Dave Russo was drumming. I was playing bass. I believe Billy Gurge was the bass player. I took his spot, and Boulder's playing guitar.
Yeah.
And Eric Barrett was playing guitar as well. And he's rest in peace. Actually, he was just playing for 100 Demons.
Was there a scene like I don't want to say hardcore scene, but was there a heavy and hard music scene in the Bridgeport, in that Connecticut area in 1994?
Oh yeah, there was the Anthrax. I was too young to go there, but
yeah.
All the Big Pete and everybody,
sure.
Waterbury Heads, and they all were going there doing shows. Forced Reality, but it kind of my entry into it became Norwalk, and we go to New Haven and the Tune In. That's where everyone started like really getting to gel. Spent a lot of time there at the Tune In. Sure. Great times.
What was that place? I remember going with Biohazard in like 93, 94. They played up in Connecticut. What was that place? Was it the L&G?
The L&G in New London, yeah.
Dude, that place used to go off for Biohazard. I remember coming up with them and they'd play the L&G and it used to go off for Biohazard. Yeah.
Connecticut loved Biohazard, man.
Yeah,
The Nightbreed too in Norwalk. Billy Bateman used to put on the shows there. Yeah, it was a good time. We loved all the New York hardcore in Connecticut.
Yeah, absolutely. So what happens with Frostbite and how does that play out? And I know, Hatebreed kind of formed soon after. Walk us through sort of that timeline.
Yeah, so Frostbite kind of like ran its course. It was fun. I did shows I would never had the chance to ever do. We played with like Overcast and bands like that back then. Maybe even Converge, like when they were first starting. And Jamie's other bands, Josh 14 was up in that mix. And we were just part of the local scene, then kind of died out. I wanted to do something heavier. Our drummer Dave, the original drummer Dave Russo, for Hatebreed, we just wanted to be heavy. We wanted to like trucks. He just kept saying trucks, like 18-wheelers driving over people. And so we made the transition from that into that more like we would take death metal stuff, slow it down, and just have heavy hard shit. And you know, we're all into that. So I mean, that was just the beginning of that, how that whole thing started.
Was there like a mission statement early on for Hatebreed, or was it just a bunch of young kids kind of smashing together? And was there like a conscious like, hey, let's, you know, bring this element and this element and a little bit more of this and this?
I mean, it kind of evolved into, because we were like into the crossover shit, you know what I mean? Like the metal,
right?
Yeah, and that really wasn't like what Frostbite was about. And so yeah, we just wanted heavy shit. We wanted people to go nuts, fucking, you know, stage dive and smash. You know, we were young kids. We just wanted insane shows. That was like the mission. You really never think about longevity when you're just out there wanting to put on a good show and just hanging with your friends as like part of the night. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Is this the original lineup of Hatebreed, or close to it?
That's close to it. There was a guy, John Ziniak. He was in there. He was before Larry.
Man, you guys, you guys look young here, man.
Dude, yeah, we're fucking young as shit there. That's I gotta
awesome.
be 18, 17, 18, somewhere around then. White beaters on. Look at that, man. It's like,
it's great. It's
great. That's
great.
in Bridgeport, though. I think we were taking those pictures around Bridgeport.
Is that right? Like on the waterfront of Bridgeport?
Yeah. That's definitely Bridgeport there.
You know, is pretty incredible. You guys really spearheaded, you know, this heavy and hard music movement in Connecticut, you know, which of all places, which is, I remember coming up when I was managing Marauder, and Marauder played with Hatebreed. It might have been, what was the place that Jamie used to promote in? Was it the Tune In, or was there another place that he used to do a lot of shows?
He did the Tune In. Yeah, he did the Tune In. I'm sure other spots too. I'm sure there's, you know,
but I remember
venues in there.
I remember coming up with them and stayed up there. We stayed at Jamie's parents' house. Ooh, you know, and I mean, this is when you guys were just kicking it off. And I mean, and I'll put a disclaimer on this. Jamie's sister wasn't around, but I remember I slept in Jamie's sister's room. and like we were all in Jamie's house. Marauder, 1994 or 5 or whatever it was, and like, you know, and the show was packed, man. The show was fucking packed.
Yeah, I was saying, like, Connecticut loved New York hardcore.
Yeah,
I mean, the shows were always good, and we had a loyal scene.
Yeah,
I think the New York hardcore bands really enjoyed coming. You know, they knew they were getting, like, fucking, the crowd was going to show up and people were going to throw it down.
And they certainly did. I know early on, didn't one of the first side of like great moments for you guys? Didn't you guys play Hellfest up in Syracuse real early on?
Yeah, I don't remember if it was like the first or second one, but I remember doing that. That was a dust pit. That was fucking insane. I just saw footage for that. I think maybe Trustkill put it out.
Is that right?
I keep coming across some of the footage that they've been posting. It's actually awesome. It's crazy to like flash back in time and, you know, to realize you were a part of something like that, you know?
Yeah. Our good friend Jonathan Buskey says, loved playing Connecticut in the late 90s. Yeah.
I bet he did. Shout out to Buskey.
Absolutely. Just a couple of things that you sent me. Here's some cool stuff. I guess was this a run? Was this a tour that you guys did? Is this Cold as Life, Hatebreed, and Despair?
I think that was a tour. Yeah, that's an old one, man.
Yeah, that
the whole good time. Wow, man.
Yeah, I guess that's this 95.
Yeah, because you got Jamie Push Button in there and Jeff Cold as Life. It's a great picture. That beast in there, I can't even see who's in there really.
I mean, Hatebreed had the one thing I remember about early Hatebreed is you guys put in the work. You were in the trenches. you guys played like everywhere, anywhere, anytime. You guys just went out and you guys just dug ditches, man, early on. Is that fair? Is that fair to say?
Well, yeah, that was kind of like the mission, just to be like, because we're not radio accessible, right? So we were just like, we wanted to be known. We're like, we're gonna play every fucking venue we possibly can.
Yeah.
Get our name out there, like,
yeah,
become like a household name, but you know what I mean? Like, just so you don't forget, they're coming back, and we play everywhere. And
yeah,
you know, back then we didn't care about, you know, playing the same place twice, you know, like in the same week or whatever.
yeah.
And yeah, man, like looking back, those shows were insane, you know, and
yeah.
and we did kind of like put our stamp on it, you know.
Yeah. And this is the first. There was the first demo you did, sort of got a little speed, and wasn't the songs on the demo what ended up on the split with Neglect on the 7-inch?
I think some of them did.
Yeah.
I'm not. Well, Wayne knows all that stuff. You ever want to talk to him, bring him on there. But there was songs like that got into the 7-inch. I have my 7-inches. I left them out in the heat. They melted. Like my old ones, I have like, it's hard. It's hard to take in. But
yeah. Here's another early Hatebreed shot. I guess this has got to be 94, 95, right? Something like that. Early on in the game.
Yeah, that was our first time we had ever gone through New Orleans. That was on the Warped Tour. We got the titty hat in there, Big Mike in the titty hat. He'd be rolling around with that. Yeah, so we were on that was the first Warped Tour we were on, and none of us had ever been down there. So of course we got there, and we're like, we're gonna go make the day of it. And there you go, man. That was awesome. I think we were with Me First and the Gimme's down there, and
oh wow,
if I remember correctly, they were doing like karaoke. It was insane. That was a good day.
Yeah, New Orleans, you know, you either you live it up or you just crash. Like either you win or lose big in New Orleans. I mean that's been like, you know, my experience. You know, I grabbed a couple of things I had in the New York Hardcore Chronicles archive. Can you give us a little take on coming to New York early on? Here you are. Look at this. Terror Zone, Madball, 25 to Life, 1-for-1 VOD, and Hatebreed at Wetlands in like 95. Any memories of like coming to New York early on and what that meant to you guys?
Oh yeah, that was I would go to Wetlands like before we were playing there. It was like a big deal. I think I saw like 25 to Life shows, and Madball there. That was huge for us to go into New York. Yeah, we kind of like wanted to be on that level with those bands and stuff like that, and going to those shows and just seeing like the Wetlands like packed, sold out, and you know who's who in there of every hardcore band and whatnot. Like that was pretty wild to see when you're like in your early 20s, and it just set the stage. Like I want to do that. I want to be up on there doing that, and it totally evolved into that. But that was a great time, man. New York was always one of the best places to go see shows.
Well, you know, you guys kind of slid right in. You know, it worked. You know, Madball, Hatebreed. You know, here's another one from Money Earning Mount Vernon. This one's interesting. Look at this. From 95, Crown of Thorns, Fahrenheit 451, Awkward Thought, Atlas Shrugged, Hatebreed, and No Redeeming Social Value. You know, like in Mount Vernon, New York. You know, which is basically I mean, like, you know, this is. I mean, that's why I remember Hatebreed was just anytime, any place with anybody. You guys were always down. You know.
Yeah, we just wanted to play, and you got to hang out with our friends. You know, so that was always the plus. And man, probably just young and dumb, didn't give a fuck, and just wanted to play.
Let me see if I got. Oh, here's a cool shot. This is sort of this venue and like these shows that Hatebreed played have kind of gone down in lore. This is from a fanzine, Vista fanzine, Bristol skate park in Connecticut. You remember those skate park shows you guys used to play?
Oh yeah, I'm not even far from there now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I live in Bristol, and so that place closed about a year ago. My buddy tried buying it, and I was trying to help him negotiate that whole thing. And I went up there, man. It looked the same as it fucking did. Like the dude did absolutely no renovations in there, but I was able to cop the sign off the front of the building, the B for Bristol Skate Park. And actually have that mode of the store. I was so excited.
It's still there, like the ramps are still there and everything.
So they were there, a furniture company, like a office furniture company,
sure.
like buys like the states. They took it. I haven't been in since it closed. Yeah. I kind of don't want to, really. You know.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the same up there, but
yeah.
That's a pretty nostalgic place. We had a lot of good times up there.
Yeah. And is that somebody mentioned that? Scott Gajowski was the first Hatebreed show at that skate park?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's that's it must be. I can relate in a certain regard, right? It's like I'm still living here, and I'm born. I grew up here. It's like you're in Bristol, and it's like ghosts of Bristol, ghosts of Manhattan. But I love it, right? I mean, I love it here, man. I love it. But there's something to be said about like you're in that town, like that's your family. You own businesses there. You've really, you never packed it up and moved to Hollywood.
Nah, Hollywood's not for me. Hollywood's the kind of place where it's like it's great to visit, but like I'd rather be back on the East Coast. That's just me personally. But it is cool. I drive by that building, and it's nostalgic. You know what I mean? Your hair stands up a little bit. It was, I remember drinking 40s outside of that building. Cops coming to ticket cars and tow people because they were across the street parked in the pharmacy parking lot. Yeah, it's good shit, man. Good memories over there.
Did you, Volt, John in London asks, who owns a BMX shop in London. Did you ever skateboard or ride BMX bikes or anything like that?
I did not skate. I was not a skater. That's one thing I never got down. I love BMX bikes though. Like I would ride them all the time. I didn't do tricks or anything like that, but fucking love riding bikes. Now I have a mountain bike now. I got a Fuse with a flat tire that I have to get fixed.
Another. I'm pulling a couple. Some of these are out of the archive, but I think it's great to sort of take a pit stop here. I mean, you guys started to sort of work your way up the ladder. I was at this show because I directed the Agnostic Front Gotta Go video. I think at the same time. This is when this is like the Agnostic Front reunion shows, right? I think there was two of them. And Agnostic Front, H2O, Maximum Penalty, Hatebreed, and Fury of 5. That's a bit.
I wasn't in the band at that point. There was a small period of time where I left the band, came back for Satisfaction. Yeah, so I wasn't in that. I wasn't at that show. Didn't play at that show. I'd say maybe, I don't know, 8 months to a year. I actually wasn't in it.
I did not know that.
From Polyglot, Ian from Polyglot filled in for me, and then I came back to Satisfaction.
That makes sense. Were you around for this one at the Roxy? I did not know that.
Mind blower.
Yeah, there you go. Did you play this show with AF at the Roxy? Remember that one?
I probably didn't play that one.
Right.
Yeah, not 96.
This is the old.
When,
go ahead.
97's when Satisfaction came out, so I was back in the loop for that.
This is 97, and then this one, which is really interesting. This is 98. As we're sort of doing our like New York stopover. I mean, what's interesting about this is, I mean, you're still really tight with like a lot of these guys that played this bill with you.
Yeah, that's insane right there.
Yeah.
I just texted with Carl the other day.
Yeah. Yep. Carl and Scott, right? And like
Yep.
Scott Vogel. Yeah, these
Yep.
Tramps was an interesting place.
Everyone's still around a little bit.
Yeah.
In the shadows, they're there.
Yeah. A lot of these. Yep. Absolutely. So that said, so Hatebreed, Hatebreed's trudging on. So you did not play on Under the Knife?
No, I played Under the Knife.
Okay.
I just left it for a little brief period. And actually, there was the Hatebreed Integrity split came out.
Right.
When I was in the band, but I wrote like about half of Burial for the Living, like the bass line, all that stuff, which ended up being on Satisfaction.
Right.
So yeah, I was on that. Wayne was on that. Jamie.
Sure. Any perspective you could give us on Under the Knife, recording it? I mean, it's certainly. I almost wanted to. It certainly put you guys at the table. It puts you guys at the table to get on the map, right? I mean, because yeah. But remember anything about this process?
It was probably on a DAT. Man, that's such a long time ago. I know in today's standards, the tone sucked, but we just wanted to get it out and get it out there. It wasn't a long process in the studio. I believe it was this guy's house. I totally forget his name. I should have wrote all this shit down. Or,
one of those deals. It was in somebody's basement, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're doing this demo, this EP. Let's get it out there. But I mean, Dave was in the band. We had a great time doing it, and but it was so quick, and not like what Satisfaction would be, when we recorded that.
Dr. Hoof says Dan Real Sound recorded it.
There you go. That's Dr. Hoof is that's Dave Russo. That's the original drummer right there.
Hey Dave, how you doing? And Ray Hogan asks, is Matt McIntosh on that?
On this recording, he actually, I'm not sure. He might be.
Yeah. Are you asking, Ray, because was Matt McIntosh from Stamford, Connecticut? Is that why you're asking? Probably. Yeah. So that leads into this, which, dare I say, iconic.
Yeah, that's it for us.
Yeah, man. Listen, I did my homework this week, and I listened to, all the stuff a couple of times, and this one's sure really, really brought me back to bring you back to a certain time and a certain place, and boy, and this thing really holds up. Anything you can tell us about this?
Yeah, I remember we were writing it in Wallingford, Connecticut, and dude Joe Bardovic had a spot. It was right off the highway, and it was a small ass room, just all sheetrock. McVeigh had his we call it the old drummer Jamie Push Button. His nickname was McVeigh, because he kind of looked like McVeigh. Fucking, everyone knows who that guy is. Right. And man, we were going there, sweat our fucking asses off, and we put that record together. And then it was like we got on Victory at that point, and that was a huge fucking deal for us because all the big bands were on Victory at that time.
Sure.
And drove out to Jersey with Steve Evans, and wow, the history was made. Like that was a wild time, and it's just one of those things like kind of like a flash in the pan happened. Like I don't know if we could ever recapture that.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's like
did it feel special while you were in the moment?
It really, at the moment, no, because we were just being us. You know what I mean? It was just being wild, but it it became like a couple years into touring that album, because we toured that album for about 4 or 5 years. It was, but like we had the same mentality though. We're like we tour, like, and then when you start seeing, like Deftones got like your a Hatebreed sticker on their guitar.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like Max Cavalera and wearing Hatebreed stuff, sticker like that kind of shit. Like you're like, wow, we're actually people are listening to this, and it's like, and not only is it like resonating with the hardcore community, it's resonating outside of the hardcore community. It's crossing over, and that became a big deal. And I mean, still to this day, it's a pretty big deal in the hardcore world.
Yeah, that record really transcended a lot. It was, and off that record and putting in that work. I mean, you guys toured with, like you mentioned, the Deftones, but I mean, like touring for 3 years, you toured with the Deftones, right? Slayer, Entombed, and Napalm Death. I mean, you guys were just
Sepultura. We did stuff with Sepultura.
Sure.
I think Deftones is on the Warped Tour, which is we did. So, but yeah, I mean, we Motorhead. I mean, you name it. We were just hammering away, and it was getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And off of one record, which is fucking nuts at that point.
That's exciting. That's really exciting. It's like you guys did this record, and it just sort of you just put in the work. You were digging ditches. You were grinding, and more and more people just got on board. I mean, there's been records like that. I mean, the White Zombies record was like that. Guns N' Roses record was like, sometimes these records come out and through touring and people start seeing you and you just start getting momentum. I mean, touring on a record for 3 years, that's a lot.
Yeah, but they were fun songs to play, and
yeah.
It was all like, it was 26 minutes long, which was insane too.
That's wild.
So we played that like Under the Knife stuff, and we're the opening bands, and those are great times, man.
Yeah, it's nice, and it's great that you have those fond memories, regardless of how the future may lay out. That they'll never be able to take those fond memories away from you. So that's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's great, man. That was a good time. Yeah, wouldn't trade in for the world.
Yeah, 100%. And I think I don't know if this might be a little later on, but this is a very cool shot. I know lineups changed, but this is a little bit later on, right?
Yeah, I want to say, trying to look at what's in the background over there.
Yeah, look, video games.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who did that. That actually, it might be a Randy Johnson, the baseball player. He did a photo shoot for us.
I remember that.
Sure. Yeah, that might be from that. I'm not 100% sure, but
I remember
that. Looks around that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a trip, man. That was pretty wild. Nice guy, super awesome.
I got to reach out. I got to reach out to him. I want to get him on I got to get him on the show. Yeah, Randy.
He's
Johnson.
a good dude, man. He's a solid dude, and he's all about music, man.
Yeah. Absolutely. So you're out there. You're crunching away. You put in work. I mean, that's kind of why it took a couple of years between Satisfaction and sort of, this banger right here, right?
Yeah, there you go. It's another solid record.
Yeah, it's a great record, man. Yeah. But this one, this Perseverance. So you go from Victory to Universal, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's an exciting step up.
Yeah, at the time, yeah. We were still locked into the Victory Records, and I mean, that was just kind of drawn out, and eventually Universal bought Victory Records out the contract, right. And we were able to go on and do that.
Right.
And yeah, that was a great experience. We had a good time recording that album. We were at a farm up in Massachusetts.
Oh, was that what's that? Was that Longacre, Longview Farm? Longview?
Longview. Yeah, Longview.
Yeah, that's a famous place.
Yeah, it was super famous. We had like the Stones recorded there.
That's right.
And, I mean,
that's right.
Countless other like insane bands, and that's where we actually. You probably Phil Caivano. He's in Murphy's Law right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he ended up doing guitar work and working on the album with us. That's when we finally met him. And,
wait a second. Was this produced by Matt Hyde?
Matt Hyde, yep.
You know how I,
Yeah,
you know why I asked that question? Because Biohazard's doing their new record with Matt Hyde, and Phil Caivano is in the studio as like, second engineer or technical advisor. So it's the Phil Caivano Matt Hyde connection.
That's a good group right there. I talked to Caivano not too long ago. He's
good dude.
He was psyched out. I'm working with Murphy's Law again, and he told me he did the Biohazard record. So that's so great.
Yeah,
it's a small world, dude.
Love that guy, man.
Yeah.
I like Phil a lot. So I mean, this record, did all right for itself. Sold like 250,000 records in America alone. Was this a fun and exciting time?
Yes, the recording it was. I mean, we recorded Satisfaction in a smaller studio in Jersey with Steve Evans. Amazing experience looking back on it. Then they got us. Universal has us up in this Longview. I mean, we were like, "What the hell is this?" We're like,
yeah,
it's a converted farm into a studio. Like big drum rooms, the whole nine, and that was a great experience. And that record took us to different places. Like I think we went out with Slayer after that, and just kept banging away, getting bigger and bigger tours, and so then we had like 2 full lengths under our belt.
Yeah. Astoria Lou says, I worked with Shinji Suzuki at EMI, who signed Hatebreed to Universal Records. After he left Universal, he became a police officer. And I know this because I bumped into him in Tompkins Square Park. He was a cop, and he came and said hello to us, and basically told us his story. We were like, wow.
Yeah, that's my boy, actually. I just texted with him today.
Is that right?
I text with him all the time. He's a good fucking dude, man. I've known him since those days. And then, he went on to become a police officer. He would send me pictures of all the people he bumps in with in the city.
That's wild. He was an A&R guy at EMI. He signs the guys to Universal, and he eventually walks away from the business to be a public servant and be a cop.
Yeah.
That's all.
I think he's retired now too. I think he retired last year.
I think he did. So was that the connection? Like Matt Hyde worked with Slayer, you guys worked with Matt. What was the sort of the Slayer, Hatebreed, Matt Hyde connection? Did it all just kind of go hand in hand?
I mean, that's kind of how it worked out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were doing God Hates Us All and stuff, and that came out in 2001.
Yeah.
So I mean that, when you're in the music industry, everyone kind of like word of mouth, talking to each other and all that stuff, and who you using, and that record came out good, and it worked out for us that Matt Hyde was available, and it was a good choice, right?
He's an interesting character.
Oh yeah, he is. Yeah.
He's like Rain Man. He's like Rain Man. He's like, I saw him working with Biohazard, and it was pretty incredible. Like he's incredible.
I remember we were recording, and we'd be like, "Yo, where the fuck is this guy going?" We're like, "He's going flying to a Raiders fucking game." Like, middle of recording, but that was his thing, man. He's like, he's all about it. He'd be back fucking day or two later, ready to go. Boom, like fucking yeah.
Sort of interesting that he'd be like such a sports guy,
Yeah, that's his thing, man. All about it.
Yeah, Raider fans, fanatics, But just kind of going along the timeline. We're not going to stop everywhere, but I just want to, you know, a couple years later, Rise of Brutality, you know, on Universal as well, and you guys even got nominated for a Grammy on this one for Live for This, right?
Yeah, that was a trip, man. We never really expected that. Never, you know, fucking hardcore band. You don't even, that doesn't come on your radar, you know?
Yeah.
And I remember we were in Florida with Ringworm. I don't remember who else was on the show, but we got the call. We got nominated. It's like fucking surreal, you know what I mean?
That's awesome.
And yeah, it was a cool experience. And going to the Grammys that was pretty wild. You know, it was just a cool time. And, you know, and it was one of our most simple songs too to play, which is kind of cool that it worked out that way. It was no technical shit, you know.
Yeah. Sometimes it's the simple shit, right?
Yeah, the message gets across and it connects.
Yeah, those 3 records back to back to back. Yeah, absolutely. And yes, Chris Hoffman, the Bad Brains did record Eye Against Eye at Longview with Ron St. Germain producing. That is correct. I think the Jay Giles band used to record there too, and that kind of stuff. I wonder if Longview, it's still there in some capacity, you know?
I mean, that's a good question, because pretty much at that time, that was the last place we recorded that was like extravagant as a place. I mean, they were cooking meals and shit for us. So you go down to the kitchen, like, what is this? It doesn't make sense. Dude, Caivano's out on a horse in the fields, you know? We're like, what in the fuck is going on here? And then pretty much everyone started doing the home recording, and the studios got smaller right after that. That's like when Napster came out, and everything, all budgets got cut like that. Yeah,
it was nice that you guys got in the door before it closed.
Yeah, we got it in. We didn't get too used to it, but it was a cool experience, to say the least.
I can relate. We recorded an Antidote record at a place called the Carriage House. I think it's in Stamford, Connecticut.
Yeah, and another place.
When we went in there to check it out, they were mixing Pantera, Cowboys from Hell, you know, in there. And I heard that. We heard that. We were sort of like, yeah, let's do it here. You know, but, our record didn't exactly sound like that, but it was the same kind of thing. Like, you live there, you work there, they feed you. You know, I don't know if these places still exist anymore. You know,
I don't think the record companies are going to put up the budget for something like that. You know.
Yeah. You're a big horror film buff as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm into that. Yep, I got a lot of decorations around the store and stuff like that. I like it.
Yeah. What early horror films really affected you as a young person? And I use the word affected you because I could give you my top 3 that like really shaped my childhood. What were the early horror films that really shaped your childhood?
I think The Exorcist fucked me up the most.
Yeah,
that was some twisted ass shit. You know what I mean? Like,
fucked up.
And like being a kid, you're like, what? This goes on? You know what I mean? In the world,
it's a scary film.
Yeah, that Texas Chainsaw Massacre, of course, and you know, Friday the 13th, love them. The classics, Day of the Dead. From that era, you know what I mean?
Have you seen anything lately that rang your bell? Anything that was any kind of horror based stuff that you thought that was done well or that you enjoyed?
Insidious. I think I saw that.
What was it?
Insidious.
Yeah,
it's pretty decent. I saw some other one with some. I forget the name of it, but it had some nuns and shit in there, and they were this guy was
I know.
Genetically making babies and shit like that.
I don't know that one.
Impregnating the nuns.
Wow.
I mean, that might be Insidious, but I was like, this is twisted ass shit.
Hold on. Here's a good one. Right now, post your favorite horror film from when you were growing up that really affected you as a young person. Post it right now.
I see some good ones in the comments over
here.
Yeah.
This will get them going. Poltergeist.
Evil Dead. Poltergeist.
Yeah, Poltergeist is good. Evil Dead. You know, I'm a little bit older. You know, films that really affected me were the original Planet of the Apes films. Like those, you know, as a young person. I mean, Exorcist. I remember when Exorcist came out. Like, I couldn't watch it as a young person. It was terrifying. You know, it was.
Yeah,
so
there's nothing good about watching that when you're young.
Yeah. So here we go. Boy, they're pouring in. Let's see what we got. The Omen.
Yeah, it's a great one.
The Howling.
I remember that.
Chud. Maniac Cop. I never.
Jaws. Someone got Jaws on that. That fucked me up.
Jaws was fucked me up too. You know who's a big Jaws like fanatic, and I've had him on the show talking about it, is Charlie Benante from Anthrax and from Pantera. He collects.
No shit.
Yeah, he collects Jaws memorabilia. He has like stuff that was in the movie. He has one of those barrels from, you know, that was you know, he's like, he's all about it. You know what? American Werewolf in London. You know, I watched American Werewolf in London recently, and I don't know, it kind of didn't really hold up that well. That was a little.
I remember as a kid that was on HBO all the time.
Yeah.
Human Centipede.
Oh,
that's
God.
some fucked up. That's some fucked up shit.
That's fucked up. that film's fucked up. That's just fucked up, you know. But
different level of human.
Yeah. But that said, yeah, there's a lot of. Been watching a lot. Yeah, I watch a lot of zombie stuff. You know, everybody's does the zombie. There's a lot of zombie stuff out there now. You know, but
Walking Dead. Are you a Walking Dead guy?
Me and my gal have watched the whole thing. We got to watch the what is that one? There's a new city of a new season of what is it called? City of the Walking Dead. There's a second season that just
is that
popped up.
Rick, right? Is that where Rick does his like his offshoot?
No, this one's with Negan and Maggie.
All right.
Yeah, I forgot what it's called, but yeah, we watched all the Walking Dead. You know, it sort of got soft. You know, towards.
I just didn't know where it was ending. Yeah, it got to a certain point. I'm
Dead
like,
City. That's what it is. Dead City.
Dead City. All right. I
Dead
saw
City.
something about that.
So yeah. So that said, let me take a quick sponsor break, and we'll come back and we'll talk a bit about some more Hatebreed. We'll talk about your exit from Hatebreed, and we'll talk a little Blackened, a little SOS, and we'll keep chopping it up.
Sounds good to me.
I'll see you in a minute, Chris.
All right.
That's right. Chris Beattie. Hatebreed. Talking about that. Hey, you know what I wanted to, usually I do a sponsored thing here. We're heading just on a selfish note, just as we're heading to Punk Rock Bowling, we just dropped a single. Instead of doing the usual promos, I'm going to play this while we take a breath, and we will be right back.
To see it, evil is everywhere. Don't believe what they have told you. You're just a pawn in their game. Are you ready? Get set. You know it's all bullshit. You'll be thrown to the wolves. Now that it's all said and done, don't go pointing any fingers. How could you be so foolish? These facts will drink your blood. Are you ready? Get set. You know it's all bullshit. You'll be thrown to the wolves. Careful what you wish for.
There you go. New ID single. Hey, we're playing Vegas. Sold out show on Friday with 7 Seconds and Negative Approach. If you're out there, please come through. If you have tickets, I'm also hosting a tour at the Punk Rock Museum 2 days later on Sunday, May 25th. And then we're doing a little screening of the New York Hardcore Chronicles film, selected segments of the film. Also on that weekend here in New York, on Saturday, May 24th, the Black and Blue Bowl is happening, and also our annual Memorial Day show in our beloved Tompkins Square Park with Rebelmatic, Butterbrain, End of Hope, and Sonic Bomb. But of course, I will not be there. I will be in Vegas doing it up, excited about it, seeing everybody in Vegas. Want to mention, please support the show. The show needs your support. There's a Patreon page. It's the best way to support this show. That's the reason the show exists. You motherfucker. There's also a PayPal address right there. There's a super chat function if you have a question for our guest. All you patrons, I'm in the process of figuring out we're getting a discount code for the book we just put out, London 77, The Lost Archive. We're going to get that to the patrons with a discount code. But please support the show. That's how it works. Hey, I also want to shout out something very exciting. We have a new sponsor that's coming through. Let me introduce you. This is sort of like the preliminary shout out, but I want to introduce you to Candle Witch Company. Candle Witch Company are on board. They're going to be joining the ranks of the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. We're excited to have them aboard. So get ready for Candle Witch Company. So it's sponsorship and it's Patreon that makes all this happening. Thanks. Yeah. The ID track, by the way, is there's a tie in here. I got to talk to Chris when we bring it back on. Neil Zum Osberg produced it, who also created the Sans Amp bass driver, who of course I grew up with. And it is mixed by Dan Kornoff, who, as you may or may not know, produced a lot of bands, including My Chemical Romance, Breaking Benjamin, Il Nino, Papa Roach, and many more. That said, let's bring our guest back on, Mr. Chris Beattie.
Amen. I'm here.
Hey, an interesting tie-in, Well, we'll get. Because I was gonna talk a little gear with you, and I'm just, where is that? Here we go. I saw. Well, I don't know where did I come up? Where did I see this stuff? Not that we're getting to a deep, crazy dive now, but on the gear stuff. But this turned up, right? This kind of
wow.
Was this your workhorse for many years?
Yeah, I still got that.
Really?
Did I throw that in the pictures?
What's that?
Did I throw that in with the pictures I sent you?
Either you did, or I saw it on maybe your page or something, and I grabbed it.
Yeah, that's it right there. I'm not sure if I had 2 of those. Those are like the reissue ones. Yeah. And yeah, man, that fucking thing rocks. But it's so fucking heavy to lug around. We call that thing the Widowmaker. Yeah. Exactly what it is.
That fucking thing, man, is and then there's this and sort of the tie-in with this is, my ex-bandmate, still one of my best friends, who created the Sans Amp bass driver, just produced the Incendiary Device recording, Oh,
no shit. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That right there, that's Sans Amp.
Yep.
Best piece of equipment I've ever owned. Like that product can never do you wrong. Never steer you wrong. Every bass player should own it. My whole career, I have to thank for that thing.
Yeah. He sent me, he had to do so. I was going to drag him on the show, but he sent me a text. Let me read it to you. He said, in this, maybe you could ask him about his picking technique and how he's able to be so articulate with moving around all over the neck. Regarding his sound, he keeps the blend knob pretty low on the SansAmp. That means the SansAmp isn't producing that much gain, but it's shaping the tone with the EQ. I don't know if he has a preamp on the bass cranked up or not, but it seems like he's able to stand out in the mix. Even though there are two guitars with tons of gain on either side of him, he definitely has his own voice.
Well, thank you.
That's from the creator of the SansAmp.
Damn, it's gonna make me cry.
Was he spot on though with sort of with that?
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing with the bass tone was to complement the guitars. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
fill them up, but also at the same time, like, be able to cut through and do my own thing as well. So I mean, the blend would go up a little bit here and there depending on some of the stages. You know what I mean? Like if you play like a flat concrete stage as opposed to a wood stage, you know, there'd be some adjustments here and there.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's pretty spot on, and mostly I'm all down picking, like to keep it like pretty consistent, you know. And that blows my mind. He even said that.
Do you dial it in a little bit different, like when you're doing something like this sort of mega situation?
Yeah, because the big stages are definitely different than like a small club, right? Like you don't need to fucking hear it everywhere. You're not walking 40 feet away. You know, the tone changes. Sometimes on the big stage like that, you'll walk all the way over to the stage left or whatever, and you kind of just lose. You can't hear yourself, you know.
Right.
So it's all different. But I usually just would mess with the blend knob. Those settings you saw right there. That's basic starting point, you know.
Yeah. Have you seen your hardcore trading card?
No, I got one.
Yeah, where is it? Hold on, I gotta.
Did not know I had one.
Yeah, you got one. You come on the show, you got one. It's all happening.
A lot of great things happening today.
Hey, you know, we're in the business of making great things happen. Let me find the Chris Beattie card. Where's this card? Here it is. Bingo. So I think. Yeah, this is the card. I think he was a little. There you go. Boom. I think he was a little. I think he was a little spooked about putting Hatebreed on it right now, but you know, he didn't know what the situation is. But there you go. There's the front of it, and the back is really cool because he does some real in-depth research, and it's always really. It's really helpful to me. Here's the back of it. And, Frostbite, Hatebreed, Blackened, Jackalope, SOS. And, fun fact. Jackalope. I guess you played on a couple of a track or two?
Oh, who's in that? Is that, what's his name from Rush? I think Caivano might have got me on that, actually. We recorded some real quick shit, like a couple songs or whatever. Yeah. This is a long time ago, actually.
Yeah. And it says, a fun fact, in addition to years of music, Chris is a big fan of classic horror movies, and he has a collection of baseballs from different stadiums across the country. He is a husband. He is a husband, a father, and somehow found the time to become a licensed real estate agent in Connecticut.
Well, that was during COVID. I had nothing else to do.
Hey, look! Speaking of bass players, there he is, Hoya Rock. What's up, Hoya?
My man.
There.
Much love.
Go. Yeah. Where I saw that you sent me a picture. You guys at a baseball game. Oh, here it is.
So me and Frank would hit up baseball games all the time. We'd hit up like every stadium as we went across the country if they were playing a home game. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
And I see Scott Vogel in there too.
Yeah, we got a bunch of the Terror crew with us right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. I don't know what stadium that's at. Maybe it is.
It looks like a Devil Rays. Were you at the Tampa?
It could, but Frank always wore that Tampa stuff.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not. Yeah, it's hard to know. But there's a lot of yellow in the crowd, so
yeah.
I don't know. That's a good one.
Interesting. All right. So before we jump back into the Hatebreed thing, let's talk about Blackened and SOS. I guess Blackened came a little first. Yeah,
that was with my boy Jay Reason, Chris Legg, Dave Russo, original Hatebreed drummer. I think Wayne played some stuff on it actually too. Mm-hmm. That was a Connecticut thing.
Right.
Jay Reason was in a Voice of Reason. He has a record store in Milford, Connecticut. You should go check it out if you're ever in town.
And like you said, that Dave Russo plays on that, the original Hatebreed drummer.
Yeah, Dave Russo's everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun to do. It was kind of like a one record thing we did. Mm-hmm. But yeah, those guys are awesome. Like great friends. Like Dave's one of my best friends in the world. Bridgeport guy. Jay Reason, fucking such an awesome, solid dude. And I've known all these dudes for years. So it's put something together with your friends. You know what I mean? Just playing music and having fun, and that's what that was.
Sure. And I know, of course, SOS, has the one and only Matty Henderson in it, right?
Oh, legend, yeah.
Legend. Can you say legend?
Yeah, Matty Henderson. What a great dude.
Yeah.
He actually just hit me up. He was playing with H2O in Stanford.
Yeah.
And I missed the text or whatever. He sent me like an instant message and was like, they're playing Stanford. I didn't get home until like 9. He was like, come on down. I was too shot. So my apologies.
I'm gonna see him in a couple days. They're playing Punk Rock Bowling.
Oh, it's great. Give him my love, man. What a great dude.
And Scott Vogel also.
Yeah, Scotty's in there. Wow, look at the hair. I got some hair in that picture.
Yeah, when I first saw this, I was like, where is he in this picture? Oh, there he is. Jay Reason. What's up, Jay?
There he is. That's the man. Yeah, SOS is great. That was a good time too.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun doing that.
Did SOS play out live?
No, we never really got to. Like it had so much going on with Hatebreed at the time. Yeah. And obviously those guys are all in bands and doing their own thing, and it just never happened. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it, like doing something new or whatever. But people love that record. Like whenever I bought it out, or people will hit me up all the time saying it was such a solid album.
I mean, I guess when you're playing in those years in a band like Hatebreed and you're doing like record cycles, for stuff like this, it's like months recording the record, months touring the record. It's hard to, there's not a lot of downtime, right?
No, I had my son was young at the time too, so it was like, trying to balance all that and do that and a side project. It's a ton of work, and it's you kind of gotta balance it out and find out what fits and works for you.
Yeah. And I'm just sort of doing a little bit of a tour of some of the this record I like, man. This record I like this record a lot. This is a fun record. This one, For the Lions.
Oh yeah, that was a good time.
That's like, I want to do that. That's cool. What was the process? Did everybody have a say, or was it just like this is our influences?
So we were kind of going in to record, write a new record actually, and I don't know what the deal was. Like someone, so we started messing around with cover songs, and it just turned into doing a cover album. So it was kind of weird how it happened. It wasn't planned out. It just happened organically.
Sure.
We're oddly enough,
Yeah. Yeah, there's some good ones. You do a lot of cool shit on there. Marauder, Life is Pain, Black Flag. There's some good shit on there, man. It's really good.
That was fun to do. We had a good time with that. We did that in Wallingford, actually, Chad Nossel.
Lemo Z says, best covers record ever. I could almost agree with that. It's really, I mean, usually, like you hear people that were doing a covers record and it's like, it's all right. But maybe it's because, you know what makes it great in my world is the song is the song choices. It's just great,
But we came from that world where the hardcore and so it worked for us. We had a broad spectrum to pull from.
I guess what was the record you would have been doing? Oh, this is probably the record you were kind of doing at the same time, the self-titled Hatebreed record, right? Probably, I think.
Yeah, so I think that was after Sean had left the band at that point when all that went down, and so it was kind of in the midst of all that, like he was still with us for the Lions though,
right?
And then I think we finished For the Lions maybe without Sean. I don't know. It was a blurry time. It was a dark time.
Listen, when you have a career of 30 years, it's there's an ebb and a flow to this stuff, right? I mean, it's not all great all the time or all bad all the time,
Right. Yeah, you got that right.
It's like, you just sort of. So and with that in mind, as we sort of, there's, I guess it brings us to, there was Divinity of Purpose, and then you guys are on Nuclear Blast, Divinity of Purpose, Concrete Confessional, and then sort of the last, this is the one that was kind of like pandemic-ish, right? It was done during the pandemic.
Yeah.
So like this one sort of got some rough timing, right?
Yeah, so that we were actually supposed to leave in March, or maybe it was April 1st, somewhere mid-March, April 1st, right before fucking you couldn't start traveling anymore. Like it was just done. They shut down the world, and we were about to go out with Parkway Drive and World Tour basically with them. It was a bunch of different legs of that, and got pushed out. It was kind of a bum out because we put a lot into that, and to just have it completely shut down, and no, that was like brand new. Like, when the hell are you supposed to put it out? And recording, putting an album out and touring on it is kind of key. So it made it very problematic, and it was a rough time.
Yeah.
Just timing.
Yeah, because you want to get out there and do shit like this, right?
Yeah, you want to play your shit. You want to bring it to the world, It's one thing listening to a record. It's completely different to bring it.
Yeah, the pandemic really, it really changed a lot of people's lives,
Fucking shit show. It's big time shit show. I think in some aspects we're still paying for it on some levels. I don't want to dig too deep into it, but it was the real fucking eye opener, and it changed a lot of things for people.
It changed things for me. I created this show during the pandemic, and here we are, 376 episodes into it. Like I said, one door closes, another door opens, and it changed my life in a lot of ways for the better. So I mean, really, really strange. It sort of ended one career of mine. It sort of just changed my direction quite a bit.
Yeah,
interesting.
Got to roll with it, right?
Yeah. And Amy says that album is perfection. The bass and stroke of Red is incredible. I had pre-ordered it, and it got to me exactly when it needed to. All right.
Love it.
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah. So kind of winding down the timeline, the Hatebreed timeline, how does it, I'd be amiss not to ask, right? How does it play out, the Hatebreed timeline and like kind of bring us to where things are, now?
Yeah, so we're pretty much, obviously the last year was the 30th anniversary of the band, whatever. So we had big stuff going on after that, which all completely amazing. We had a great year. You know, it was like tours, shows were successful, and then we jumped to right now where I'm not in the band anymore. Yeah. So, well, first I want to say and make sure I say this. Everyone knows that you reached out to me previous, before anything had happened with me leaving the band, and we were working on setting a date, and you had no idea any of this was going on. I had to actually reschedule a few times, and I was like, man, I can't tell this dude what's going on because it's not even like public yet, and so I'm like, fuck, and I really wanted to do your show. It was hard for me, but I'm glad. I just want to say that you did not search me out afterwards trying to be that guy, you know what I mean? And this happened organic, and
Yeah.
And I appreciate that, and
well, I'm not that guy. I'm really not. And like your career and you as a friend and the whole bit, is what it's about. It's not about, oh, we got, let's track him down for this. I don't do that kind of a show anyway,
Good,
so,
good. Don't ever do that, because you just gotta be real to yourself, Yeah. So I kind of gotta step around the exit of the band, So it was completely unexpected, We had just celebrated 30 years. It was awesome, successful tour. Left on like a high note, we did great stuff, and like I said before, publicly, it was not my decision to leave the band. Someone saw an opportunity to get me out of the picture, and that's where I am now. Everything went really well that year, but there was stuff going on behind the scenes, and it became a chore, to get in touch with anyone, and I was the middleman, basically, for band members and crew members, and that became a chore for me, and I had started asking a lot of questions, and it became problematic. I became a problem within the whole mix, and we're trying to work it out. There's attorneys involved now, and I spent a lot of time having to deal with that and all the details of that. And I've gone back and forth. Obviously, something like that happens. You're upset. You go through all these crazy emotions. You know what I mean? Like 30 years into something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't want to shit on the legacy of what I did. And I could be that guy. Come on here. I could talk all kinds of shit, but I don't want it. It's would me a year from now want to be doing that, and I just don't want to be that guy. We made good music. We had great times together. Things changed. Dynamics changed.
Sure.
Things like that, and you're in a band. You understand that. So.
Well, but I gotta say, I'm in a band, but you were in a band for 30 years, and I mean that's pretty incredible. I mean, I'm in a band now with a couple, but you were a founding member of a band, for 30 years, and you were a huge integral part of the band, So it's the same but different. I mean, you were one of the pioneers of that band and putting that band and that genre on the map. So yeah,
I appreciate that. Yeah.
It's the truth, man. It's the truth.
And
what you did and what Hatebreed did. I mean, you guys opened the door for a lot of other people. You guys always checked for other people. And we love you for that.
Thank you. I'm more than honored to have the opportunity and support, and to be able to do that. And it was always, it's hard to be away from your family. Everyone, when you're touring, everyone understands that.
Yeah.
And the feedback from people when you play, like, someone, you inspire them, you touch their life, you know what I mean? You have a positive, lasting impact on someone. That always kept me in the game. And, like when shit wasn't going right in the band and whatnot, you look at that, man, it's like, that's the realest shit you could possibly get, Like, people will come up to us all the time and be like, man, I was ready to kill myself.
Sure.
And your music changed me. Like, how do you respond to that? It's like,
it's heavy.
Yeah,
it's heavy.
It's real deep shit.
Yeah.
So I'm just hoping for the best. Hopefully we'll be able to sort this out. I don't want it to go down some shitty road. We've all seen bands do that. So hopefully it could end on decent terms and be able to move ahead. Like, my time is done with Hatebreed.
Thanks for answering that, because I was going to say, is there any kind of chance that maybe things will get sorted out? No,
it's done. It's done, and it's just like my family comes first.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that. But yeah, I can't go back to that. And but I do. There's a legacy. It's like, but I can't. With all the time that I haven't been in the bands now, it's weird to say, but people know me from that, man. Everywhere I go, you can't shake that kind of shit. The identity is still there, so it's good. It's heavy. It's hard to talk about too, but here we are. Not like you said, like new doors open,
Yeah, and I think that it's, you did mention, like, when these things kind of happen. This, just speaking for myself, whenever there's some sort of event, I've learned it's never good to react in the moment. It's like, when you react in the moment, it's purely emotional. And I've learned, and I don't always exercise this, that I'll sleep. My thing now is, in the face of a disaster nowadays, my attitude is, let me go to sleep. Let me sleep on it. Let me get a few hours of sleep. And then, even in the face of a major disaster, I'll be like, and I'll wake up fresh. And I really try not to react in the moment at this stage of my life. And like you said, I think that, like, now that sort of the initial situation is worn off, and you could take a deep breath, you could sort your thoughts out a little bit better.
Yeah. And also you got to remember, like, for 30 years, maybe not 30 consistently, but since 97, man, I've been going. You're in the mix, right? You're in this, giant machine that's just going and running. And to actually, first time like 25 years to like step back. Besides COVID was also a wild time to step back and all that stuff.
Sure.
But to actually be out of it is, the whole outlook, a different outlook on life. It's kind of crazy, and I never pictured myself to be, in the position I am now. But we're here, right? Like, life goes on, and that's the most realest thing I could ever, like, say to anyone,
It absolutely does, man. And there's a lot of great stuff down the road for you and for me and for everybody. And you have a lot of great stuff going on. You're an entrepreneur. You have multiple businesses. You have a great family, and you're still you're going to do music stuff. Is it safe to ask, like, as far as the future goes? Are you thinking about any music stuff, or are you just sort of like taking it easy right now?
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy when that happened. A lot of people hit me up from other bands, like big bands, touring bands, friends I've had. I'm not going to name everyone. I respect their privacy and all that. And but so much love to everyone that reached out to me. But that aside, my great friend Scott Vogel hits me up one day, and he's like, "Let's do a band." I'm like, "Are you fucking serious?" Because I'm not even looking for anything really, like all this shit just happened, and I'm kind of sorting it out. And Scott's like, "Yeah, you get Sean Martin, Ex-Hatebreed guitar player, and he's gonna get Jamie Pushbutton that played on Satisfaction." And I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here! This is fucking crazy." So he hits up Jamie Pushbutton, and I hit up Sean, and yeah, so we got that's one of my new projects that's in the works, and I skipped this week, but I go to Sean Martin's house every Friday, man. We're fucking working on music, and it's crazy, man. It's like the door opened. We've never been there, so I can't wait to jam with these dudes and get us all in a room and do that. It's gonna be fucking awesome. I'm thrilled to announce that and to let everybody know.
Yeah, that's great. We knew you weren't gonna stand idle, bro. We knew that wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah, I wasn't even trying.
Well, that's kind of when it happens, right?
Yeah, shit just falls in your lap. And I also
Go ahead.
I also got another project in the works. Carl from Earth Crisis and my buddy Anders from McConaughey. I think he did some stuff with Jorge. I'm going to be jamming with those dudes. So they have like music written that's already done. I'm going to play bass on it. But look forward to doing that too. So I have multiple projects in the works right now. So fucking through, it's awesome to write new shit, still be able to jam with friends. Me and Dave Russo talked about jamming together, doing something. So there's a lot of music and great musicians and friends here in Connecticut that I have that I'll reach out, want to jam. It's fucking let's go, let's do this,
The vibrant musical scene known as Connecticut. It's awesome. It's so fucking awesome.
Fucking small here. It's so small that we got it all,
Yeah. People aren't afraid to travel, Yeah.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, and Josh Hurst says we got to add that to the back of the trading card,
Yeah, she does now.
And that's right. Shouting out Layla from Concrete Ties. Hell yeah, Connecticut. That's right. All the Connecticut heads are chiming in.
It's so great.
Yeah, that's good. Hey, let me do another sponsor break pretty quick, and we'll come back. Mm-hmm. We'll take some questions from around the world, and we'll chop it up for another 20-25 minutes. All right?
Let's do it.
All right. There you go. Chris Beattie laid it out. All right. Hope everybody's happy. Get your questions together. We're gonna do like another half hour. Let me finally play the promos, and lots going on. It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. Since 1992, Generation Records has been a mainstay of the New York metropolitan area music scene. Today, they offer a diverse selection of new and used rock, jazz, indie, hip-hop, punk, hardcore, metal, blues, soundtrack, and reggae LPs, as well as t-shirts, posters, and other merchandise. They buy used record collections and music memorabilia and will pay you top dollar for them. House calls made for large collections in the tri-state area. Call or email generationrecords@gmail.com and follow them on Facebook and Instagram.
Will that be cash or in debt?
Do you mean debit?
Yes. Sorry. Another eternally satisfied customer.
Yo, what's happening? I'm out here at one of our all-ages Sunday matinees on the Bowery.
I hope that you are enjoying today's show. I just want to let you know that the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live needs your support. Please step up. There is a Patreon page that has a lot of unique program. Shows are announced there first. Lots of good stuff. There's a PayPal address right there on the screen if you want to make a contribution. There's also a super chat function. You could do that. But the bottom line is this show exists because of your support. We're going to be doing it for a long, long time. Thank you for all your support through the years. Back to the show.
Conditioned by indoctrination, conditioned by society. You're a victim of the digital age, a 21st century casualty. Open your eyes, you're losing control. Open your eyes, put down the phone. Conditioned by misinformation, it's just the media telling us lies. Decipher fiction from the truth, society's slow and tragic demise. Open your eyes, you're losing control. Open your eyes, put down the phone. Everyone's got their fucking opinion.
And we're back. It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. Good to see everybody out there. I hope you're enjoying yourself. We sure are. Hey, want to mention a couple upcoming shows. Like I said, we're going to Vegas. The next show here will be Wednesday, May 25th. It's a Side Trips episode with Michael Falzerano from Hot Tuna and the New Riders of the Purple Sage. A week after that, our friend Don Capria, film director, will be on the show celebrating the release of Director's Cut, along with actor Louis Lombardi, who you may or may not have seen on The Sopranos, 24, and Suicide Kings. Wednesday, June 11th, Benjamin Howard Smith from The Bratlow. Fucking love that band. Sweet Diesel, the Kill Van Co., and the Gilgo Beach Boys will be on the show. Hey, Sunday, June 15th. Come on now, set it off. Freddie Madball's back on the show, celebrating the release of True to the Game, The Roadrunner Years. Wednesday, June 18th, by popular demand, Mike Maluski, Bulldoze, Train of Thought, Homicidal, Hold My Own, Zero Trust. I think I just jumped the gun on this. Hey, this date might be wrong, but we're working on getting Ricky Rackman from Headbangers Ball and the Cat House on the show. The date's not solid yet, but shit, I guess that was left on there. But we're working on getting Ricky Rackman on the show, if you remember Headbangers Ball from the 90s. Once again, if you're watching the show in a rerun, please, on YouTube, please subscribe to the Stone Films NYC YouTube page. Also, pick up your communication device and follow the show on Instagram, Stone Films NYC, and join, for Christ's sakes, join Patreon, support the show, or there's also a super chat function if you have a question for our guest, Chris Beattie, today. Do a super chat function. It comes through in color. I can't miss it. You go to the front of the line. I think that covers everything. Reach out to me anytime. I'm accessible. It's what I do for a living. If you have a question or something bizarre and inappropriate to say. So I want to thank all the Facebook pages too that support the show, because there's a lot of them out there. So thanks a lot. Post your questions right now for today's guest. Make it happen. That said, let's clear the deck. Let's see. Let's bring our. Let's bring. Oh, you know what? Yes, Layla, Connecticut. I have to mention the Demise show that is coming up in August 31st. Free all ages Sunday matinee on the Bowery. Demise. Nailed to the Cross with their new singer. Ooh, who's that going to be? Should be interesting. I wonder. Cropsy, Jackknife Johnny, Concrete Burial, and Sid the Kid will be spinning. Free all ages Sunday matinee on the Bowery, Sunday, August 31st. That said, let's bring our guest back on. Crispy.
We're back.
And we're back. Welcome to the good times. Let's see. You know what? You know who just sent me? Somebody, this is funny. Busky just sent me a couple of pictures. And I want to put them up because They are sort of bizarre. I'm not sure what's going on here, but these are from John. I'm going to show you the 3 pictures from Busky. Right, here's the first one. Not sure who this is getting this tattoo.
That is either, it might be Boulder. It's either me or Boulder.
I think it's Boulder because the next picture that he sent me is this one, which, here you go. This is the next one.
Yeah, that seems about right. We actually got those tattoos on the night in Louisville.
Wow.
And around 97, it was the night that Mike Tyson bit fucking Vander Holyfield's ear off.
Right.
Getting tattooed and all that whole shit went down. That's how I remember that night.
Could you give us any perspective on your old friend here? Maybe something that we don't know or a fond memory of him?
Yeah, man. Fucking Lou, man. That brings back so many fucking memories, man. A lot of people don't know. I lived with my grandparents in Bridgeport. He lived with his grandmother about 3 streets over. And we had a mutual friend, childhood friend. He used to date his sister, I believe. And he had just found out, like, through the grapevine that I was, like, fucking wanting to play bass and shit. And, he was a big, intimidating dude, fucking, like, played all these hardcore bands and shit. And I was with my grandparents. And I would jam out in the garage because my grandfather was sick and tired of the fucking low end in the house and all that. So I got moved out to the garage, And fucking one night Boulder comes by, fucking barely even know the dude, and fucking like shows me some fucking bass lines and shit. And that became a trip, man. It was like fucking. So he kind of like helped me on my journey there to start playing bass, and I ended up living with him at his grandmother's house up in the attic, and we were super close. And yeah, his fucking shit went down when he passed away. It fucking sucks, and but I always bring up the good memories. Me and my boy Big Lou talk about him all the time. Like fucking, dude was a trip to be around, and I wouldn't have been in Frostbite or Hatebreed, had it not been for him, and I still have his bass in my room, the Ascend bass, fucking bass that he was selling shit, and I fucking bought that. I've had that for over 20 years. That's the bass that's out of the case in my room. I sleep right next to, like, fucking, to grab, like, fucking, and yeah, pretty fucking awesome.
Here's another shot. I don't know what's going on here, but Busky sent this to me. I don't know what the hell you guys are doing here. Looks like you're destroying a car or something.
We played like a junkyard or some shit. there was a junkyard behind the venue.
Right.
And I believe that was like 4th of July. So we were just fucking around,
just going off.
Just being a bunch of idiots. Yeah.
I guess that ties in with this super chat that Matthew Gerald sent, right? He says, any wild tour stories. I mean, that one sounds pretty wild, but and I know it's hard to, like, hey, in the 30 years you were playing, but anything come to mind, like with any wild tour stories, like any one thing sort of like plops in your head, like I know you guys.
Man, so many, man. We had a lot of fucking great times. Fucking shit. We almost died several times, and back when fucking you had to tour in the van, sleep on the gear. I remember waking up in the middle of the night. Our driver Joe, we would lay all the gear down in the back of the cargo van.
Wow.
And fucking driver, passenger, and we had fucking hit black ice and fishtailed, and fucking everyone fucking just kind of woke up like, oh, this is it, dude. We're fucking just about to fucking die, like fucking bracing for life. And somehow this dude pulled his fucking shit back together. It's knock on wood, man. That's fucking scary shit.
Yeah.
And we've had so many fucking adventures, man. Fucking.
So many bands have that horror tour story of when the van, when the van cracked up, whether someone fell asleep or somebody it's like that's a scary thing. And I know is this the Roman Colosseum in this shot?
That's somewhere, I think, in France.
Ah,
There's some Colosseum over there. I would go on a little trek every day just to get out from the venue and fucking get some fucking fresh air, exercise, whatever. That's not the actual Coliseum. I've been to that before with Schlumpf, Marcus Schlumpf and Matt and Wayne. We've done that excursion before. And Marcus knows everything.
Did you try as a musician? I know some guys in bands, they sort of play the show, go in the bus, go to sleep, wake up at the next show. Did you try to get out and experience like whatever city you were in and at least try
every day?
Yeah, tell us about
every day. Every day I was out. Like I would make it like my mission. Sometimes you get there and you wake up, you're in the new city. I would venture out. I would try and do like a couple mile walk each day or whatever. I would map out the night before, Europe especially. Like I would ask Sloan for a tour manager.
Right.
What's good in this city over here? We got anything good? And sometimes just whatever. But I would look on Google Maps, or maybe there'd be some ancient fucking Roman ruin down there that he's like, you have to go see this. So every single day. some cool World War I shit. Like that's like in Belgium or something, right? Everywhere. Yeah, I made it a point though, because a lot of people don't really get to see the world, man. I've seen the world, been walking around the streets of the world fucking so many times. I have favorite spots in different parts of the world. Yeah, that was a great spot we did too.
Yeah,
that was behind the Rock Arts Festival. That was some crazy fucking rock cross thing up there in Germany. Yeah, that was a good time there.
Yeah, good stuff.
Marcus had a name for that. He told us what that was. It was some kind of it went on for miles and miles.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Is that where was that?
Germany at the Rock Arts Festival.
That's not Hadrian's Wall, is it? No. That's something.
It might be actually.
Yeah. Let me see. Let me see if I can. A lot of good questions. Let me try to. I saw a really good one. Okay, good one, Count Ralphus. Your time in Hatebreed, you toured with so many great bands. What bands did you wish you could have toured with? Was there anyone? You guys toured with so many. Was there anybody that it just never happened for whatever the reason?
I guess Metallica. We never really toured with Metallica. We toured with every great legendary hardcore band. Like maybe the Bad Brains. We didn't get a chance to tour with like original lineup Bad Brains.
Sure. Sure.
But Metallica was always, like the pinnacle of it. And we toured Motorhead, Megadeth, Slayer, Sick of It All. Jesus Christ. I mean, everyone. I'm very fortunate to be able to, to say that we did that. Like Entombed, you brought up Entombed, like I grew up loving that shit and able to like share the stage. If I could think of one between now and the time we leave this, I'll throw it out there. But I've been blessed to be able to been able to do that.
Joe Halleck says Hatebreed played with Metallica, Tattoo the Earth 2000, the Meadowlands Giant Stadium, second stage outside. I think I was there for that.
Yeah, that was a good show. That was great.
On the flip side, Travis G asks, who was your favorite band to tour with?
Ooh. Let's see here. Favorite band to tour? I mean, to be quite honest with you, Slayer treated us like fucking so cool, man. Everything was like cool every day with them. They were laid back, gave us whatever we wanted. Lamb of God, dude, same. Like they all treated us like fucking ton of respect. There wasn't that many bands There was a couple. I don't want to call anyone out, but
Yeah.
there were a couple bands that were like a little full of themselves, pretentious, shit like that. You know, that happens in the music industry.
Sure.
But,
Sure does.
Yeah, like as far as like fucking Next Level, even I mean, we did Five Finger Death Punch tour. Those guys treated us really well. You know, like but that's a few of them.
And that kind of ties in with what was it like working with Kerry on the Perseverance record?
He kind of phoned that one in. Like we sent him that stuff, and we weren't like there while he did it. You know what I mean?
I see.
And but that's the Mad Hyde connection right there that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
So he had that whole connection, hooked it all up, and that was pretty cool. It was wild to have him on the record.
Yeah. Terry Mayers, what gauge picks do you use? I've looked everywhere and I can't find any info.
The gauge. Oh God, you're asking. I don't even know.
Do you use
the triangle ones?
The big triangle ones?
The big triangle ones. Yeah. I'm not exactly. You got to hit up Bert from In Tune Picks.
Like these?
Yeah. Yep.
That's what I use, and I play
Mine
guitar with
the blue one.
Yeah, this is the blue one. I think is the lighter gauge. This is a Dunlap 1 1 1/4 1/4. So I think the blue one is a little bit the gauge lighter than this.
Yeah. So somewhere around there. Yeah.
This is what I use for. I use this for guitar.
So you can't miss.
I can't miss. I can't miss. You know who I copped this from is Rob Escheverria, who played guitar in Biohazard. Before that, he was in Helmet and Rest in Pieces.
All right.
When I was with Biohazard, working with them, he gave me a couple, and then I use it. Not that I'm some incredibly proficient, guitar player, but we do the My War thing, and I just like using those. I can't miss,
Yeah, you can't miss. Pick slides all day, you got it all.
Yeah, can't miss. Yeah, somebody said it looks like a Dorito. Yeah, it basically, you can't miss. Let's see. How did you guys pick what bands were covered for the Lions?
Kind of just getting tossed out. Like as we were doing it, like there was nothing specifically written down. You know what I mean? I don't remember exactly what song started it. We were in the studio trying to write some shit. Nothing was really clicking, and someone started playing some shit like that. Might have even been like a fucking Metallica song or something like that. We're like, let's do a cover album, and then we had to fucking go down that road. Like I'm psyched we did a Sub-Zero song too.
Yeah.
Like, I would go see them constantly, like coming up, man. There was fucking Lou, and great fucking dude.
Yeah.
Been seeing them like since I first started going to shows, actually.
Yeah, I used to manage Sub-Zero.
Great.
I managed Sub-Zero, Fury of 5, and Marauder at the same time, so I definitely had a penchant for chaos,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Travis G says, I have 4 Hatebreed tattoos. I had Chris sign my leg at one of the tours. All right.
That's my boy Travis.
Yeah. Oh, this is a good one about, where's the one I saw about going down, playing Columbia. I want to find that one. No. Oh, here we go. Any fond memories of your first time playing Columbia, supporting Agnostic Front back in 2005?
Yeah, that was pretty wild, actually, because I remember going in, and we're like fucking leaving the airport. First, they got to weigh your shit. We're like, why the fuck are they doing this? They weigh your shit once you leave the airport, and we're like, all right. We had never put 2 and 2 together, like what comes from Columbia, right? So on the way out, they weigh you again, and that was like the first time we got outside, armed fucking guards, like fucking escorting us into a fucking van. We're like, what the fuck is going on right here?
Wow.
So we're all thrown into the van. We're doing about fucking 90 down the highway. We had someone trying to follow the van, and these motherfuckers are like trying to cut them off. But that show, when we got to the show, the only one way to get to the stage, you had to walk through the crowd. And it was like fucking, we had never been there. Fucking
Wow.
dudes were pumped. So we were walking through the crowd getting stage. That was fucking bananas. I've been back since, but man, fucking shit, man. That was a good time.
Outside, Danny Cole asks a tough question. Outside of Hatebreed, your favorite band? I'm hands down Fugazi. Do you have like? Is there a guilty pleasure favorite band? Something that like?
I like Zeppelin, man. I listen to a lot of Zeppelin.
Me too.
You know,
like Zeppelin too. Man.
At this point in time, right now, yeah. So maybe people don't associate Led Zeppelin with kind of shit I play.
I don't think it's no. I think there's favorite beatdown band. Ooh.
Bulldoze?
The original. Go with the original.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bulldoze, the original. I got Mike coming on the show pretty soon.
I saw that. It's great.
Yeah. Is CTHC coffee still going strong?
Yeah, I just ordered a whole bunch. Reordered from my roaster, Purgatory Coffee Roasters here in Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
They had they changed the roaster, and the beans were fucking. I got two different beans: a Colombian bean and a Mexican bean, and they didn't have one in stock. So I'm waiting for them. It's a good mixture. So yeah, that'll be back in stock on my website June 2nd. I was told.
Fantastic. Pat Baldwin asks, does he have a favorite New Haven pizza joint?
I only go to Foco in Chester, Connecticut. My boy George over there. It's not in New Haven. I can't stand the fucking lines. I go to New Haven, I see like people's salads and shit. I was like, I can't do that. I hate lines, dude. So my boy George, he actually brings shit to me. God bless him, man. He's fucking one of the best dudes ever. And he's got an 8.5 on Barstool Sports. So definitely go check his shit out.
Barstool Sports goes off, man.
Yeah.
Lori Dawn, absolutely. Definitely excited for whatever Chris is involved with next. Great show. Well, thank you, Lori.
Thank you, Lori.
Yeah. Let me see. This was everyone's chiming in on Led Zeppelin. Do you miss playing small venues?
Yeah, I actually love playing small venues. I'm into it. I'm probably next time I play is probably gonna be a smaller venue.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be this, right?
No, unless some other shit happens.
Right.
Time, but
right. Yeah. No, it sounds like
to be honest, every venue has its own vibe. You know what I mean? The big shows are fucking amazing, right? It's on everybody's bucket list. But small venues are awesome. Love the energy.
Yeah, it's a different world. Favorite bass to play? Are you is there a go-to or?
I got my own Jackson custom bass. So I've been playing those for close to 20 years now. I got to design them, the necks and all that stuff, and that's my go-to.
Yeah, and is this is an EMG pickup ad that you're in, right?
Yeah, that's our old one with Sean in the band, and me and Sean in the band, and Frank. That was a good time. That's when we rocked the fucking party vests.
Right, right. The battle vests.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we'd be up fucking trashing all night in those things.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Foco, he even gave you the fucking fist bump on here.
Gotcha. Let's. All right. Well, what just in general? I know we talk about band stuff, but what does the future hold for you? What are your hopes and dreams for the future?
And I just want to, music-wise, obviously got that going on. I want to be able to play out again and play with my friends and just make music and you know, see where that goes, and not like looking to, you know, fucking be playing arenas, all that. I want to get my everything at home kind of situated here, and maybe do some things I never really had time for with all the traveling, you know.
Yeah.
And it's been fun, you know, working in the new business and just bringing that to life. Training jiu-jitsu, I do a lot of jiu-jitsu now. I'm able to get in there and do a lot of classes, so I'm going to be progressing in that. Shout out to all the PMA people too. It's a great little family there. Everybody's been awesome. And my son too. My son's 14, so it's
good age.
Convenient time to be home to be able to spend time because you don't have much. They're going to be off doing their own thing after high school, right? So I get to spend some quality years with my kid. I love being a dad. It's my favorite thing. So psyched on that, and I'm sure more things are going to present themselves. But I kind of just needed some time to fucking get everything situated right, get in the right mental space, right, you know, dialed in. I haven't been home my whole life, so it's been kind of surreal experience. You know what I mean?
That's wild. And you know, also, you know, out there, if you're rolling through the booze box, man, booze box 1 and 2, man, you know.
Yeah, seriously, if anyone's in town, stop by. Fucking have any records or albums or anything like that they want signed, or you know, anything like that, or just want to fucking come in and say, hey, fucking, I'm there a lot. So swing on through, and we have alcohol, we have non-alcohol, a huge selection of that. I don't know, I'm down with people, man. I still love all the fans and everything that they've afforded me in my life. So just want to give back to them.
Absolutely. I feel like I just want to take a trip up there just to come to the booze box and just experience it in person.
Oh, you should. It's a good time, man. I got we have friends come through all the time, man. It's great.
Hey, man, it was great having you on, Chris. And
Thank you.
It was really nice bouncing the ball back and forth. Is there anybody you want to thank? Is there anybody you want to shout out?
Just want to thank all the fans for all the years, all the opportunities, all, you know, future band members, you know, everyone who's reached out to me, like I said earlier, and you know, like just talked and just fucking, you know, just send their love, you know, like you have no idea how many people have like shared love, and I want to shout out Craig ahead too, the Bass Mafia. Can't forget about him. Oh yeah, all the Bass Mafia out there.
Yeah, I wish you all the best. All the best, man. You're a good man. You put your time in. You're a kind soul, and I'm sure, you know, this thing's going to work out the way it's going to work out, and you're going to do a lot of great stuff in the future. Let's keep in touch, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Definitely, man. You got my number. Let's do it.
Okay, I'll talk to you.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure, man. My pleasure. Take care. Bye-bye. Well, there you have it. Another one in the books. Chris Beattie. Fantastic. Great show. Yes. Yes, Layla. Great show. Everybody, thank you, Amy and Dawson and Jacob and everybody for chiming in today. And listen, you're what makes the show great. You know, I'm the host. We have great guests, but you know, it's all you guys in the chat room and making the show interactive. I'm not trying to like be corny. I'm just saying what makes this show special and great is because we do it live, and we've gotten pretty damn fucking good at doing it live. So I really appreciate everybody out there that take the time and enjoy the show. I mean, I still enjoy it 5 years later, you know. So Chris is one down to earth guy, absolutely, and we wish him the best. I think he's going to do all right. He's going to be great. Thank you, Amy, and thank you, Danny. Dr. Hoof, thank you. Yes, Paul Stone, you're hooking me up with who you hooking me up with? Who you lining me up? I forgot already. Paul Stone hooks up some guests for the show every now and then. Yo, Candle Witch Company, our new sponsor. Get ready, everybody. It's going down. So Mantis, right? Mantis. We're going to get Mantis as a guest on the show. And it's almost time to book the 400th show. And we got a couple big bangers, that we're reaching out to. So get ready for that. I hope I will see you out in Vegas. I know a couple of you are going to be out there. I'm real excited for Vegas. We're playing, of course, this Thursday in Vegas, sold out show. I'm hosting the Punk Rock Museum tour on the 25th and screening part of the film. And also, I got to say that Sunday, June 1st, I'm getting married on stage at the Bowery Electric. Sunday, all ages free matinee. This is going to be an outrageous show. We're doing the My War thing with many special guests. This is going to be a really, really special day in New York City. I'm getting married at the Sunday, all ages free matinee on the Bowery. So, man, come on down. It's going to be one for the books. So, yeah. So that said, Morab booked me for the tour at the Punk Rock Museum. He books the tours. So yeah, we'll get him on the show one of these days. Is that right? I still need Aaron from Death Threat on the show. Wait, Drew, you still need Aaron, Death Threat, and Pete 100 Demons. Okay. Listen, sooner or later, everybody makes their way onto the show. We're 5 years and about, with the bonus episode, we're 5 years and 381 episodes in. What's up? So that said, hey, thanks a lot, everybody. It was a great show. Tell your loved ones that you love them. Life is short, as we all know. Until next time. Well, thank you. Thank you. For the congratulations. I appreciate it. Drew, any word on getting Johnny 2 bags? I reached out to Johnny. He didn't respond. I know he's busy, but I'm going to see him at Punk Rock Bowling. So I'll talk to him then. That's when it'll go down. All right. Do good things and good things will come to you.
Conditioned by indoctrination, conditioned by society. You're a victim of the digital age, a 21st century casualty. Open your eyes, you're losing control. Open your eyes, put down the phone. Conditioned by misinformation.